Hi guys, my name is Marlene McCohen and this is Picasso, my mustache parakeet, and we would like to welcome you to Parent Tip Tuesday. Now, today we are going to talk to you about bedtime routine. Now, I know that we've gone over bedtime a little bit before in our routine video, but I feel that it's very important to dedicate an entire video to the process of bedtime because birds, just like human beings, they really need undisturbed sleep. Just like how we do better with good sleep, so do parrots. And just like we can be more successful with routine, so are parrots. So this is what I want to talk to you guys about. Most large birds, especially cockatoos, macaws, things like that, and all birds really, but especially those birds, need 12 hours of sleep. So you can adjust this to go by your routine. Personally, for me, what works best for me is 10 p.m. to 10 a.m. The reason for this is because I'm a late nighter and I love to spend time with my birds, so I don't want to put them to bed too early before I get time to spend with them in case I'm out, you know, for most of the day or something like that. And I don't want them to feel like they're waiting for me in case I wake up too late. So 10 to 10 is perfect for me. But some of you might do 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. if you kind of go to bed early and you just need the birds to go to bed a little bit earlier and then you wake them up at 6 a.m. with you. That can be a really good schedule. A lot of the bird stores are kind of on that schedule and the parrot rescues because it's kind of like their natural bedtime. But 8 p.m. to 8 a.m., whatever works for you guys. And by the way, if you have been gone all day and you feel like you need some extra time with your bird, I do take extra time with my bird a little bit past their bedtime, but different ones, different parrots are different. So like Picasso, I put him to bed at his bedtime every single day. Like by 10 a.m. he's in bed. But if I watch like a midnight movie, I'll offer him to come out and sit with me because he really just sleeps like all cuddled up to me and he really likes it. So that's an option for you guys too. And believe me guys, there's no right way to raise your birds, but you know, as long as you're giving them the attention and the sleep and all the things that they need, those things are really important. But what works for you in your schedule, birds will adjust as long as it is routine. So now guys, what I do, this is kind of, this is the spare cage. Picasso loves this cage. And I keep it in my bedroom, so I'm in my bedroom right now, so I decided to do the demo in my bedroom. Before I put them to bed, I change their food and water every night. I don't like kind of wait, engage, and get lazy about it. It is routine. So the first thing I do with the birds awake is I pull out their food, their waters, their supplements, all different seeds and things that they like and pellets, and I start getting all of that ready. And then they know that bedtime is about to happen. They get used to it. They're like, oh, I see she's got the food. Give me like 20 minutes to do it, you know, to get used to it. And then once they're ready for bed, come here, Picasso. Do you want to go to bed? He doesn't want to go to bed. I put them in here. Okay. Now, by the way, let's do this demo on Picasso. If I am putting Picasso to bed at, let's say, a different time or a little bit earlier, I'll do the test on him. And the test goes like this. I'll ask him if he wants to come out. If he does that, I know that he's totally ready for bedtime. If he steps back up on me, then I'll be like, okay, let me make sure you get that time that you need, or maybe you know that I'm gonna watch a movie, because they're really smart guys, and I'll let him come out and watch the movie. I'll do the same thing when I test him at midnight, or when I'm watching the movie later on. I won't just take him out. If he doesn't want to come, then I won't bring him out. He needs his rest. But he kind of has this routine and he knows. So I put him to bed. And then all the birds have a different thing that I do with them. You know, Vinny likes to come up and he likes to go, I love you, hi. And then I'll kiss him through the cage and whatever. And Picasso's kind of like one of those birds that's like, good night, mom, bye, you know. But if I put him in the cage and I cover someone else and then I come over, he will come over and give me a kiss. And, you know, I just want them to know that they have their own time, like their own moment that's going to bed. So then, guys, what I do is I get a nice blanket. They have their own designated blanket that's not used for anything else. Picasso likes it dark, so I have like a thick one for him. And I make sure the entire cage is covered. This is really important for night fright. If they see shadows in the middle of the night, that, you know, someone's walking by or something happens in the window or a shadow of a bird flying, they can panic, and then you'll hear them and they'll fall to the bottom of the cage frightened. This helps with that. As you guys know, we don't cover Rocky. It just doesn't work for him. But for the other birds, that is what we do. So a nice thick blanket works. Also, colors are kind of important. Downstairs, all the cages are covered with pink. It is thick. I thought that pink would be a little bit better for Jersey, like a little softer of a color to help with her anxiety and stuff. So there are things like that. And also, when they put holes through their blankets, they're gonna have less of a good sleep, because they're gonna start seeing like you're there. Like, for instance, Jersey sees Jenna's home and she loses her mind. She's like, I don't care. And she screams and screams and screams, and then we have to pretend that Jenna left, and we're like, bye Jenna, and then we go and open and shut the door, and then Jenna has to go upstairs. You know, they're really, really smart. That's why, as dark as it is and as perfectly covered as they are, the better for the bird. So also with that, a lot of birds might keep screaming when you cover them, and that might be because they want you to turn the light off. So you could just make sure that your light is turned off too for the bird. Even if you're out there kind of watching TV, try to just be as quiet as possible. Go have your fun in another bedroom, or keep your birds in a place that they can get a little more privacy when everybody goes to bed, because they really do need that time. So for example, Picasso at like 9:50, he starts screaming and screaming and screaming. And that is like, I want to go to bed, I want to go to bed, I want to go to bed. George, my bird, used to go, time for bed, time for bed, time for bed. And Jersey, she doesn't like going to bed no matter what. She's like the kid that has FOMO. So we have to do a whole thing with her, and, you know, get her really nice and full in the tummy and really, really tired. And then she'll sit there and kind of like be too tired to scream. So there are things like that. But, so Picasso will scream, but if I forget to turn the light off, he's going to keep screaming. You guys met my cockatoo, Ty. Ty will literally come on top of the cage, pull his cover down, get in the cage and say, time for bed. And God forbid you forget to turn that light off, he will keep screaming, time for bed, time for bed, time for bed, Ty, Ty. And sometimes when guests come over, they'll be like, yeah, I just went into that room and now the bird's screaming. I'm like, did you leave the light on? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, yeah, he doesn't want the light on. Turn it off. And where Ty lives with my family, they usually have big laundry rooms, and sometimes that would also be the bird's room. But my mom wasn't allowed to do any laundry past 10 o'clock because Ty would lose his mind. So as you can see, it really is important to birds, even the little birds that you feel like they're not able to convey the message, but they are. When you start hearing that scream around the routine bedtime and that antsiness, they want to go to bed. Also, Jersey, even though she doesn't want to go to bed, she starts getting really cranky and bitey and irritable, just like a kid, where you're like, I know you want to go to bed, but you don't know you want to go to bed. So yeah, you have to be aware of that. It really is like being a mom or a parent to these parrots. So basically, guys, in a nutshell, you want to have routine with the time that you go to bed, the time that you put them to bed. You want them to have preparation before bed, all their food, all their supplements, all that kind of thing. And you want to have like a little moment with each of them, or one of them, that you do that makes them feel good about going to bed. Never put them to bed when you're angry at them and let them go to sleep feeling like you're angry at them, because that can really, they're really sensitive, especially like the cockatoos. So always make it feel like it's a good thing, you've made up, everything is good before they go to bed. And then the other thing is make sure that they have an undisturbed sleep. So if they have holes in the blankets, try and fix them or get them a new blanket. Try not to have the TV blaring too loud. Try to go upstairs and hang somewhere else. I always say upstairs. I know some people don't have an upstairs, but it's just like in my head. And so try to go wherever it is that they can have their undisturbed sleep. And with that being said, guys, I also enforce nap time. So after like their lunch, they kind of they kind of get all tired and stuff, and I put them all in their cages and I go upstairs and I get my stuff done. And with that being said too, guys, do not forget to uncover them in the morning. It's really important for their happiness. You don't want them to get depressed. You don't want them to feel like they did something wrong. You don't want them to become nervous that you'll forget about them. That's why routine works really, really well with birds, and it's very important to birds. So guys, I think that's all. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments. If you guys want to share with others your routine and what you do for your birds, I learn from you guys too. You know, we all learn from each other. We're a community. Be helpful to others. Do not attack them. If they have questions, it's more important for the birds that we all help each other. So thank you guys so much. Please subscribe. We love new subscribers. That means to us that that amount of people cares about their birds. And that's really important to me because that's why we're here. And follow us on Instagram and on Twitter. That's at Marlene McCohen. And we got a lot of new things coming. And for those of you guys new and just finding this video, we have Storytime Sunday, we have Parrot Tip Tuesday, and I put up daily videos every day of the parrots so you guys can get to know them and just see what it's like to live with a parrot. So subscribe and stay tuned for more. I love you guys so much. Bye.